one-sided than Red Canids felt for a large majority of it.
Yeah, the reason behind that as well is the fact that the Red Canids game, the one round that they were able to secure, was well, kind of in, let's say, regulation, because this one was a pistol round. It was the very first round of the game. They won it. It came down to a 1 versus 1, and it was clutched out by Wildcards, and then from there, it all kind of fell apart. One thing I want to mention about Vertigo, the map that we are here on, and potentially the final map that Wildcard will play, I'll pause for a brief moment, because Infinite inside of mid, this is the start that we need to be seeing from him. Couple of taps to be able to take down Malbs and Def, and Sonic looking to be able to pick up at least one more here. Also, goodbye Slacks, out of the round, out of the server, with Swisher and Reck on that B bomb site. Bomb is planted. High rate of fire Glocks, there's a world. It's
a positive sign here of that bomb down, regardless of where things go, they can buy next. And he kills will be lovely. Head on a swivel's not good enough for Swisher though. And Reck are gonna play behind enemy lines. And he might just be given the opportunity, lurking and creeping around that smoke. He pops up for one, and you'll take it. All things in a 1v4, I don't really think there was too much more we could ask from him. But a great start. Infinite, somebody went a little quiet, a little, you know, no showy, I guess you could say, in towards map 1. And say for Sonic, both finding great aggression. And I think if you're Wildcard here, that proactivity on the CT side is a necessity. If they want any chance, they've got to fight fire with fire. You cannot allow M80 to get the space and the mileage they were getting on that first map, or else there's going to be once again rolled over.
Interesting point is, and we talked about this in the first one, the fact that this is not an unknown match between these two teams. The biggest unknown is the fact that Def's on the server, but evidently that's fine because he's putting up numbers. Yeah, M80 and Wildcard have played this map before as well, only a few weeks ago. The Chengdu Constellation Grand Final, where M80 were able to secure that one 13-7, and also for RMR qualification. It was the one map that M80 won. Def going to be able to find the opening kill and to stand here, and it just seemed like it was, well, a pretty standard one off the back of this force.
Got to be said, that has been a really great pocket pick for M80 for a while. A map in which they've been extremely competitive on. A map which, you know, at the moment as well, it's had its fair share of flack as well from the pro scene. A lot of people not liking it, and they use that to their advantage. People don't like playing this map, and well, M80 are making it part of their agenda, part of their identity. Util being set up here towards B. The right side gen smoke going to come through and a pop flash around that corner as well. They actually probably should be able to get a bomb plant here without too much of a fight. Infinite gets smoked out. You surely don't push your way through this. So all comes down to how ballsy Infinite's feeling. Gonna get one, lines up a second as well, as Sonic comes in for support. And what looked like a great take, what looked like an execution that only had one thing on its mind, has now left Reck all alone. Down by the nade, and Wildcard make it 2-0. And most importantly, winning that force buy.
Yeah, converting that is incredibly important. They struggled completely on that first map. It was only on the T side that they were able to convert their second round after securing pistol once again. One interesting point there was M80's approach was kind of delayed a bit. There was a miss molly and it blocked them off at top of stairs. So maybe a little bit of a minor miscom there. Is what it is. It's only one, so don't worry about it too much. But as we can see from this buy, Cheeto sprint boost, please don't mess it up. Right, this is going to be clean. Oh, he actually got through, and I think, yeah, he's been hurt, but he was completely whited. Was Infinite when the information was found. So falls back. Managed to get a little bit of a tap, but nothing crazy. Slight going to be able to pick up Malbs. We've got to be aggressive angle here. Almost Malbs-esque.
Elsewhere as well, right? With Sly already pushed down ramp, it does force them into a pincer of two positions. They either try and fight out mid, which inherently is such a risk as well with the angles that they're open to, or go back to that default. Of course, that run boost was effective. Tech9 got a dink. There is a saving grace to work with. Reck is being held. Sonic lurking in towards double stack as well. This is going to be interesting. The flash from Def is beautiful. Finds Sonic and now finds themselves some space.
Molotov going to help them out substantially here as well. Infinite playing a little bit of fire here. Of course, 20 HP to his name. Going to play human flashbang, but able to find a little bit more damage here as Stan cleans them up. Only losing 2 there, but I think M80, they're going to be all right with it. They wanted a little bit more conversion, but it is what it is. They do now have a buy, though. 3 rounds deep, and it's going to be AKs across the board. Yeah, setting off this B default, it seems like, for M80. Just kind of testing it for Wildcard. Historically, teams on the CT side are usually a little bit stronger, either on your A or your B. It's rare you see both of them be level. So maybe a change of pace from M80 over towards the A bomb site could be beneficial, and that's what we're going to be seeing here. Def leading from the front. Smoke goes down, soon to be swinging. Oh, nobody home, and Slight through the smoke, through the head of Malbs. Exactly what they needed, with Death falling to the wayside also.
Yeah, didn't do that due diligence as well in towards sandbags, and well, neither with that smoke either.
Jesus.
Slightly elevated, lads. Sonic, up close. At least got to go for one here. Trades will be fine. But he doesn't even get given that luxury. Swisher gets one, and now Infinite can't stick around. Drops a Molotov to keep himself alive and buy time. And speaking of, 1 minute 10 is what they've got to work with. They don't have to commit here, M80. So they double back. Slacks are getting at least some information over towards ramp. But it could all just be a ruse. Boosted up close here. Smoke in the face of Swisher. And limit what he had to work with. And now time is starting to tick with it. They don't really have a lot to work with. Oh my god, he spots the MP down at close. The spam is good. Stanislaw's a lucky man to still be alive. But he's getting to a point where M80, they have to question whether they even give this a go.
Yeah, 40 seconds on the clock. Timer is ticking down. Slacks does have some utility to play around with, though, and a lot of ground being gained over towards this A-bomb site. Needs to be cautious about the AWP of Slight. Angle being held in case someone gets a little bit too overzealous on their push. Over towards Heaven. 25 now. Ticking down is the timer. And with the util being committed, this tells Wildcard everything they need to know. The push, the relocate, the setup on B. Slacks tapping away, hoping that he can find the head of at least one, but it's going to be Slight whiffing his lines there, not going to be able to connect it. Reck now, bomb is planted, and with Slacks picking up that one, now brings us to a 2 versus 2. This could be devastating for Wildcard.
There's a chance. Stan is low. He's only got himself an MP9. Of course, this round is still a bonus towards Wildcard, but with how it started, they'd absolutely want to convert it. M80, and Def in particular, calling from the depths here. There's a chance they're going to double stack. One playing in through sandbags. Reck is the insurance policy on the swing. If bomb gets tapped, there's a world to work with. Now those Slacks is known, but time's ticking. They do have to tap, they do have to stick. Swing comes through, Reck finds one, and Slacks will see off the last. M80, a sigh of relief, but a really good recovery in that round.
You mentioned it was a bonus round, and absolutely it was. Like, you saw the buy, there wasn't really anything from the previous, apart from 2 players. And now you'll notice 2 players on their side, 1.5, 1.8k. There's not going to be a buy here for Wildcard. This is the tempo. This is the round that M80 needed to convert. Maybe Wildcard just force and commit and bring that econ into level with the rest of the squad instead of it being fragmented, and that's what we're going to be seeing. Stan, Jaber, and Infinite all buying up to those M4s with util and armor surrounding it. Sonic and Slight, they're down on the upgraded pistols now. This isn't great for them.
Yeah, they were very treacherously
timing.
Lingering on that kind of double eco territory. Oh, Swisher, call him James Harden with the fadeaway. That is beautiful. Infinite quite literally did not see what hit him. And now, already M80, not only the firepower advantage, now the man advantage in one of the most crucial swing rounds. So win this and you just decimate your opponent's economy. And you basically get a 2-for-1 special, right, with the rounds, because you know your opponent's going to be ecoing the next. This could be huge. Exactly, man. M80 take this, and they are absolutely loving life. And basically, it makes it a tied game once again.
Can you spam that wall?
No.
You can't, right? Because the other side is like too thick.
It's like some men, I think, on the other side.
Probably an AWP, but basically, yeah, right?
Maybe.
Not sure, not sure. Didn't realise how close you were until you see X-ray like that. It's kind of nuts, isn't it? Jaber, quite an aggressive position here. The smoke only just deployed, so gives him a couple of seconds, a couple moments of respite, with Slight to be able to back him up in case it all goes a bit P-tong.
This is a stack, though.
Look at this. Catching them off guard. Sonic with the swing. Managed to find one, but they've retaliated with great pace. Jaber spams out 1, 2. Look at the third and the fourth from Jaber to secure the round for Wildcard and get him out of jail.
Oh, that's beautiful from the youngster. Stepping up in a big, big way. Jaber was definitely the man we questioned coming in towards this game in terms of what he could bring to the server. A lot of time in North America, a lot of youngsters who come up on the grapevine of the scene when they join teams of Wildcard stature under IGLs of Stanislaw's experience. Sometimes they're given these tough anchor roles. They're not given a lot of room to work with. That's not the case with Wildcard. Stan has given Jaber so much room, so much versatility, and that's why, because that's what he can produce. Without a doubt, the talisman in terms of firepower for Wildcard. And he finds his moment brilliantly. A sumptuous 4K. And like we said, Look at the swing round. It is shattered the econ to M80. They can't afford to buy.
Yeah, it was influential either way that it went. M80, if they won that round, it would have been really tough for Wildcard to be able to have a say here. Not the case, though, and securing that for the CT side is magnificent. Sonic going to find that opening kill onto Swisher. You're one less man up, and, oh, I mean, when you've only got your pistols, makes it even harder. Jaber, again, another great kill from Sidehall. Construction is his domain. And he's not gonna lose that anytime soon. Reck is gonna be looking for a 1D inside of mid, but
He's
it's
known
probably
as
not
well.
happening.
That's the only issue here. It's actually nice if he snuck his way out. The only problem is the guy a little jiggle peek, and yeah, that's it. I mean, it's basically the entire ruse and the entire kind of B split that they've trying to set up here. It's just a known quantity. Spam comes down. So much information heard as well off the back of it. Sonic will get one. A nice trade from Slacks. And now he's all that's left. It goes without saying, a big arse. Close, Spinoza got. And only the one casualty. It's all pretty damn good for Wildcard. You know, these sort of 10 to 15 minute breaks we have in between maps can be make or break for the mental. And it seems like, thankfully, Wildcard have completely reset. Stanislav's a man more than experienced with these sort of situations, right? Been here many a time before, and somebody who knows exactly what to do in terms of, especially for some of these youngsters, we look at, you know, Jaber, we also look at Slight as well, right? Guys who are a little fresh in the face, right? And some guy who, in terms of their LAN experience, is minimal. And this is what we need to see. Standards really seem to have brought them back into the game.
LAN experience and major experience. Stanislaw, the only player on Wildcard to represent a team at a major. Warden, of course, their coach, been there in the past as well. Exactly. But Sonic, Infinite, Slight, Jaber, all fresh faces to the bright lights of a major stage. Can he bring this team from the depths of what has looked like a rocky RMR? Oh, did he get spotted? I'm not sure if he's hit above that smoke. It's a bit dynamic, right?
But did he hear him? I think that's the thing. It felt like he reacted to it. Yeah. So he goes on Molotov. He knows there's somebody lurking around. You hear the jump. I don't think he would have spotted him, or if he did, it was, you know, probably so much so it didn't even show up on the radar.
We have the benefit of X-ray, right?
Exactly, exactly. But it's information gained nonetheless. Molotov comes down. Nade will get a little tag on towards death. Molotov avoids the bulk of the damage. Infinite's got a great angle. They surely don't clear him because of that Molotov. That's so well played. You know, the smallest of margins, the finest of mistakes have cost them. A kill there, and of course, with Swisher falling, he's somebody who is so influential on these T-sides, and without him, they're in a lot of trouble. Jaber's got uncleared again. He's already sat towards his position once before and got a kill, and he might go unchecked again. Death finds one! The Bowser swing does his checks, and he finds the most important kill to give them the sight. Molotov will come over from headshot, but the bomb will go down.
2 versus 2. Orphan and AK, so Reck, close angle. Great kill there onto Infinite, a little bit laboured to begin with. Now Slight. A lot on his shoulders here. Gonna jump on through the smoke, might even tap the bomb to try and bait it out. Oh, the spray happens from Reck as he moves himself over towards Sandbag. Slight's a little bit more of an unknown quantity at this point. And while the pickup is there for Slight, it's not the second one that he can find. A second round here for M80. A little more invigorated in the LAN hall in Monterrey. Match pause right now. Minor tech issue, but that is what it is.
The only issue I think that we've seen so far in terms of the rounds that M80 have found, or the few ones that they found, is actually just the fact that they're expensive, right? They're always coming down to the smallest, you know, 1 guy, 2 guys staying alive, which actually does have a bit of a knock-on effect to the econ. That's the only real kind of downside so far. The main thing, though, is, you know, Momentum staying at a decent level, where they're going to be pretty happy. You know, we saw them getting a little bit loud, Def getting a bit vocal as well, which is good to see, and it gives them opportunities. So, only a minor tech issue. I'm not too sure what it is just yet.
We saw headphones off. So.
Exactly. I'm assuming something over towards Stanislaw, so we'll get that fixed in just a second and we get back underway.
One thing I want to mention about that that execute onto the A-bomb site as well is that we've seen, it feels like 3, maybe, couldn't even be 4 rounds now, that they haven't cleared sandbags, and it could have just been absolutely diabolical for them. Jaber's there, and, well, okay, we're a little bit deeper into the round than we would have seen it. But, I mean, Malbs did so well to be able to clear it, but it almost felt like a second thought instead of the primary reason he was there.
My assumption is that Jaber was calling a flash, but because they were rotating off CT, it never came. if Jabba got a pot flash there, he probably gets minimum 2,
Well,
right?
one came in, and malbs, I think, was like half blind when he got the kill, but the timing just wasn't there. So a bit of a miscom. Jabba, oh dear lord, hello friend, how you doing?
No.
Oh, you're blind now as well. What on earth is going on? I respect it, but not going to work out for him. Stan, over 5-7 in hand, chip damage so far, smoke goes down. Might be looking for the long range one tap.
I don't like this. Yeah, it's only going one way. Reck gets a
Round's
freebie
over.
as well. Wildcard are giving way too many fights there. And this, you know, we spoke about it in the last time. We'll speak about it again here in terms of knock-on effects. Well, look at this one. Wildcard have got one gun to speak with, or to work with, may I say, and kind of when you look at their economy to speak of, they don't have anything. Nobody has anything in those back pockets. So M80 finding a third here sort of gives them a fourth, which once again cracks open this game. We said M80, in terms of this matchup specifically, have been very good on Vertigo. Both wins, 2 for 2 when it comes towards this map specifically. And the expectation is to keep that streak going.
That gave flashes of round number 4, where Wildcard didn't have that full buy. They force bought up a couple of rifles, and actually they were able to convert that one. M80, a couple of mistakes from them, and it should have probably been a third round for them a little bit sooner. However, Wildcard this time round, completely ruined by M80. They were able to have a little bit more of a bolstered economy. We had the Ort from Slacks doing some work in the previous and this one as well. And now the Econ destroyed for the CTs finally.
Yeah, and I like this from M80 as well, off the back of a round in which the kind of the fashion they just did, pump the brakes.
Yeah.
There's no need to rush. I think that's what happened last time. In that round you spoke of where the buy was a little haphazardly for Wildcard, they just rushed it. They gave way too many fights. And I think they would have sat back after and think, damn, we let that one slip for nothing. Much better. Much better indeed. Slack's getting, honestly, 2 of the freest kills of his life. Fighting pistols at range, he's going to take those all day. M80 off the back of their tac boars have all the money to work with, much better buy, and nothing on the other side to really be that fearsome of. The only thing they have to really worry about is just a little bit of a gamble stack of some sort. And it looks like Wildcard wants to get into those fights immediately. They're already in towards mid.
Hello, please face us. Let us shoot you with our USPSs. Let us find something, but nobody home. It's going to be this B approach, the default that we've known to come and love from M80. Hasn't converted too many rounds for them as of yet. A-bomb site seems to be their forte instead. Reck, oh, a little bit of a lurk there from Infinite. Gets some chip damage, but Swisher taken down over on the ramp on B. Only 2 remaining in Stan and Sonic. There's nothing for them to be able to recover Def, even just throwing the upgraded pistols off the map as well.
Yeah, no, he's getting rid of that Galil. He just doesn't want to drop a rifle over towards Wildcard. I think it's a smart way to go about it. Just make sure they don't give them any opportunity. Sonic will get in behind here, but he's been held. So I don't think he's going to be given the luxury. Def probably got a pretty easy 2K coming his way. Sonic to the left. Stan coming in for support as well, but it's not going to make a difference. As that bomb goes down pretty freely, it's just a matter of kind of when, not if, that this is seen off in their favor. Stan for the swing. Def sticking around to fight, though. It isn't, you know, a bit of a risk in the sense that he's got it all to lose here, and that's why a couple of 2-tap Tonys, and hey, man, we're talking. We're looking at something to work with. A rifle saved is a silver lining for Wildcard.
Yeah, it's going to be needed as well. Of course, they're going to have double loss off the back of this one, but I mean, if you can just save a little bit of money, the Galil is pretty damn good, honestly. If you're crisp, if you're clean, it's going to do the same amount of damage to the head as an M4 anyway. So
the FAMAS.
Well, it's not hard though, is it?
It's not hard, it's not
I think
hard.
I'd rather have an R8 than a FAMAS, actually. Stan going to dying, of course, to the bomb, but he had nothing. That's fine.
Yeah.
Maybe just hunting, looking for anyone trying to go for an exit and just take him down. I mean, he was chipped early doors either way. malbs, this is someone I want to talk about. We've seen over on that CT side of Mirage, the amount of ground that he was getting, the amount of kind of aggression he was facing down mid. And we saw it over towards the A-bomb site here as well. Really nice forward position, just about to ensure no one lurked on through. Elevator, and then of course we have Def downstairs, almost holding the identical angle, just on different floors.
He's just a little quiet, hasn't he, so far?
Just getting information. I mean, if he can do that, the rest of the team can do the heavy lifting.
Talking of information, that nade will get a lot. As Sonic and Infinite combine for 1 apiece. And that's just going to force a rotate away. Reck will stick around as a lurk. And malbs going to stick up close. The only saving grace is that malbs is actually given all this space now to work with towards top ramp, but from here is the big question. malbs isn't exactly healthy.
No.
Not exactly going to be easy to execute by enemies. They've got a minute 15, and they've converted from this situation before. not going to count them out. The only thing that worries me is they are starting to bit by bit run low on the util. Infinite overextends, and that's costly. Now somebody has to rotate away from Wildcard. Somebody has to go back to keep reck at bay. Who's now getting a lot of space. Or missed shot, but Slack's given the luxury of falling away. Sonic back sight, back gen. reck creeping up as Jaber is in for the rotate. Might be here too little too late. Lines up one. reck knows the second is lurking. And reck seized off this round. A two-man show as Mal's finds a double towards ramp, but it's reck who's done all the work in that round.
It's crazy. Usually in those situations where you kind of have information that, okay, it seems like the bomb's going to be over towards the A bomb site. Like, we've got this position on ramp. Okay, let's bolster that and just hold someone closer on the back of the site to be able to defend on B in case someone lurks. Yeah. They have to commit so much to reck, considering how much of an influential force he has been. Just because they're like, okay, because if he lurks on us, we're probably going to lose the rest of this round. So they have to commit, and is an overcommitter when they lose to it.
Yeah, it is massive overfacing there. And Wildcard, you can see why they go for a pause. I mean, yeah, basically immediately the coach has to get involved. Warden is thinking, you know, he just watched what must be one of the most frustrating rounds as a coach from what feels like an unlosable situation to completely thrown away. Infinite. Okay, fine. If one player is going for that sort of play, I actually don't hate it in the sense that it's an information play. But then all these overfaces that come through, Jaber to a degree's got to expect that reck's up close, and reck's done so well.
reck looked so confused. Like, literally ended a round. He was like, what the, what?
Yeah, why is this
just happened?
Yeah,
it's so odd.
It's rookie mistakes from Wildcard, and this was the story of Mirage. There was plenty of them, and my, oh my, did it cost them. Up towards ramp. Nobody here. Eerily quiet, which of course for M80, they've yet to have. There's always been some sort of fight coming through. Smokes will come over, and now they're actually already converging on towards the site.
Yeah,
Stan calling over rotations. You may as well stick around to fight. Whether they get anything with it though, I think doesn't feel too probable.
We're talking about consistency across this entire best of three. Wildcard, they started out pretty damn good. Only going to be eco frags here from Def. It's not going to be anything particularly crazy. I mean, it's not even going to be eco frags. Slight's going to be able to take out his teammate. They're going to be most likely saving these pistols at this point because they're already falling back, looking for potentially some exits. Another round one here from M80. The point I wanted to make was the fact that now we're seeing the consistency slip again. Wildcard aren't making it. This is 5 rounds in a row from M80, completely flipping the script. And now they're 6-5 up, but that doesn't tell the entire story. It looks close on paper, it's not. M80 are back in this server from their pretty big deficit early doors, and they're going to try and shut down Wildcard.
I'm really concerned at the moment. Wildcard, you know, they look like a shadow of their former selves, especially in even in their series yesterday. As BESTIA, there was a lot to like. This is a side who, you know, coming off the tail end of that, we were talking about how there was really quite a few redeemable factors. A pretty solid series by most metrics, and especially off the response of how poor the Red Canids game was. I thought that was going to be, you know, a hiccup to start the tournament, then Wildcard collecting their thoughts and their form the way we would expect, but no, not to be. As one of actually the more premium sides in the region too.
Absolutely.
They're going to be kicking themselves.
We've been talking about them even prior to this event. A lot of people kind of flagging them as a bit of a boogeyman inside of that North American scene because it's always you can beat most of the teams, but Wildcard's a little bit of a question mark. And this is probably the most dominant performance we've seen against Wildcard right now.
Hang on a second.
What is going on?
Orbs out in mid, tucked, and they have no idea. Could be some room to work with, at least in terms of cutting rotations or something here. Jaber again playing out through sandbags. These could go a little south for Wildcard if they get timinged upon. As the smoke fades, they lose a little map control. So what now? Def gonna play up close. Jaber's on the corner, and this time they molly it out. Early doors, they know he's gonna play up close. They'll drop a smoke, so Jaber's now a known quantity. He'll drop a molly of his own. Def sticks around for a little bit. Time ticking though, 40 seconds. reck given the room to work. He'll sneak his way forward in for those fights. If he gets good timing here, he cuts off all of these rotations. Jaber's surely as well. A dead man walking, but no! Def fluffs his lines, and Jaber somehow stays alive. But there's the pounds. There's where the flank comes through as reck will find Slice, and he looks for more as he goes up on high. From the heavens like an angel soaring down. reck will find one. Makes it a 2v3.
Sonic Gonna be going for the swing now. Able to take down Slacks with Reck on the backlines once again, causing issues. It's gonna be a difficult 1 versus 2. Oh, he's been gifted an AK. Maybe there's an opportunity here. Util is limited. Smoke gets deployed to be able to cut them in half. He's trying to isolate these duels. 1 versus 1, but a retaliation smoke as well here from Swisher. Maybe, just maybe, he's looking around for it. Can he tap it? He's holding it, he's sticking it. And oh, hello, Swisher! You know exactly where he planted that one. It's the 7th round on the board there for M80. They secure the half. Honestly, at the end of that, with ease.
Yeah. I mean, with how things started, what a turnaround, what a resurgence, man. Wildcard, a couple of forlorn faces over there, and you can understand why. Things were looking so good for them, and now looking not so much. It has really been a slip.
You start a game 5-1 and you think, okay, guys, we're back.
Yes,
like almost the bounce back effect that we saw from their first best of 1, getting 13-1'd and then going back to the hotel overnight and being like, okay, guys, let's just reset the mental. Coming back 2-0, bosh, we're back. We're here to conquer the RMRs, and your first game back is bad. Then you go for your short 15-minute break. You start the next game really great. It's like, okay, 5-1.
Yeah.
Guys, Stan, like, we need to re-embolster the team. And, well, they're now going to be on the T side. The onus is on them to make these rounds work. Are they going to be able to cause some havoc on M80?
This pistol is massively important. For M80, it goes without saying, win this, and it starts to feel like the beginning of the end for Wildcard. Starts to feel like that red carpet to the next round is rolled out as Wildcard left, scratching their heads of what went wrong in this tournament. Where did they misstep? How did things get so bad so quick? We start off the half with a tech pause, unfortunately. So hopefully we
It's my favorite way.
get that one fixed in just a second. And of course, we take a look at how the rounds have been. And that run of form towards the end is so good from Wildcard. 6 in a row. I mean, from M80, I say 6 in a row to see off the half. I mean, just shows how stellar that T-side was at the tail end. One man in particular for me is so influential, and not actually for the way he cracked open sides, but actually the way he stopped them being taken back is Reck.
Yeah.
Those lurks and the flanks he was finding, his timing was excellent. And the kind of this inquisitive nature that he has in terms of how he approaches these rifle rounds consistently just left Wildcard guessing. They had no clue.
I mean, even when it comes down to straight, almost fair Counter-Strike fights where he's going one-on-one with a rifle, he's winning them as well. He's head and shoulders above the rest when it comes down to frags. 16-6. The rest of his team not even breached that double digits mark. The only person close to him is Sonic, who we know can perform these absolute feats like we saw yesterday.
And let's not beat around the bush here. In terms of the expectations of the M80 team, Reck is probably the man with the most question marks, the least experience of everybody on this team in terms of the caliber of opponents he's played in the past. He is kind of that North American talent who everyone has expectations that he'll do well, but we actually don't know where he'll end up kind of playing out at. And it's great to see. They really are starting to make Reck at least a very solid player. Up close and personal though. Swisher gets caught. Slacks for 1 but only. A Sonical trade. They do get the site as they converge and go for that plant. Molotov will come through. They are still looking for the confirm of the plant. Down Jaber will get it down, but malbs has got other ideas. Miracle Man has worked once before as he looks to find yet another pistol in his favor. 3v3, and it's doable as they creep on forward. Def leading the charge, and he might just stick it. Nerves of steel as the fights come through. malbs will find one, and Def will stick it. Pros don't fake, and Def is the epitome of one. Brilliant work, Jaber. Get all the consolation kills you want. It does not matter. M80, a pistol round that could spell the beginning of the end for Wildcard.
Yeah, that was super clean. What a commitment. Def learning from his best of 1 as well. That you sometimes just need to stick it. Of course, falling off with only half a second remaining. Would have clutched out around instead. He's learned. No, you know what? I'm just going to turn my butt to you. I'm going to put my head down, and I'm just going to keep cutting the lines. Yeah, as simple as that. Hold E. I mean, what can you do? Yeah. What more can you do, right? Yeah, really nice from them. And very important round from M80. Won exactly the way they would have needed it to as well. A couple of frags here and there. Of course, they fall to the wayside at the end of it, but I don't think they really lose anything. They commit their util early doors. So if you're wondering what's going on, by the way, lovely little sticker at the top of your screen. Match pause. We lost a player from M80. They're back, and we are soon to be back in this game as well.
Yeah, it looked like, I think maybe a little kind of DC from Swisher, but it seems like he's back in.
It's just too hype. Just smashed the desk, turned the PC off or something.
More or less immediately. It's a 3-round buffer now that M80 hold. There is a silver lining in what it feels like a pretty dark sky for Wildcard of A bomb plant does facilitate a buy. It gives them at least some finances to speak of, so they are going to squeeze one out. The AK-47, double Galil, and Slight could even pick up one of his own. Stan's the only guy with maybe a little bit less in terms of that firepower on towards the Tech-9, but bar that, it's salvageable, it's doable, but it's not exactly going to be a nice scenario. If they lose this, M80 can push towards double digits.
If there's one player I want with the big AK in his hands as well, it's Jaber on the side of that wildcard roster. Sonic, of course, can be incredibly influential, but we've seen him perform well on the Galil in the past, so he doesn't need that one-tap potential. He's trying to get a little bit of information over towards the A-bomb site. Instead, just gives them info. Def, going to drop down relatively low. Stan, not going to be able to connect onto Reck, but information found and holding inside a CT. The pop flash goes on through. Jaber, lucky to not get connected by it, but does manage to find the head of Reck. Now with that man advantage, but he's tagged down low.
That's the first real mistake we've actually seen from Reck. Oh my God, Stan on the move line switch. That's it, they've called the round.
Yep, saving.
And it does actually come off the back of that initial fight. That is the first mistake we've seen from Reck so far this game. He's actually, up until this point, been playing a flawless Vertigo.
I'd almost say
one little
series.
hiccup, and it has actually cost them the round. Credit to Wildcard, they used the advantage well to them. Like you said, Jaber in towards an AK is the main guy we want to see on that sort of a gun, and he makes it work for them. So, now we find ourselves in quite the interesting scenario where Wildcard stay alive, but most importantly, stay alive unscathed.
Yeah, this is incredibly important. That econ was something that they kind of struggled to develop over on that CT side. Of course, a little bit easier to develop it on the T side due to the cost of the AK. But it's still a really good spot to be in. You're all got around about 4K each, and they're just, yeah, that's the round we need. That's the comms, of course, live. Straight from Stan's mic. Yeah, great round there from Wildcard, and that's what we need to be seeing from them more consistently. Again, the consistency is key across this best of 3. They want to be going to Inferno. Yeah, they want to. It's just the question now, do they get given that luxury? Still is 2 rounds they have to close down, and of course, for M80, 3 staying alive. They are going to force back in towards this one. Swisher in towards the 5-7. Reck going to pick up one of his own as well. Def for the MP9 and a double rifle in the hands of Malbs and Slacks. And one of them will fall to the wayside immediately. Slacks gets caught through the smoke, spammed down, left reeling 6 feet under. As Wildcard deliver that first kill on the board. Now with a numbers advantage, what's the choice? What's the decision? And it looks like going to come back and support here towards ramp. Yeah, Malbs dropping his UTL over to Def there tells me, hey, I'm going to go get some kills. I'm just going to try and get up in their face. And the timing has not worked out in his favor. Well, at least he dropped his util over, I suppose. Def can still use some of it. But Sonic, a relatively easy kill for him there. Just looked away at the wrong moment, gambled on the wrong angle. Happens to the best of us. I'm sure everyone at home can attest to that. Def, lovely little frag there onto Sonic. AK potentially recoverable, but needs to be cautious about this push. Did just run dry of ammo on that MP9. Falls to the wayside with Swisher picking up one on that 5-7. Not impossible here. 5-7's a close range. Ooh. It felt like he quick switched. Oh, what a switch. Yeah, Reck will fall and so will Swisher. There was moments where maybe a conversation could be had, but a very, very important round. And Slight getting vocal, getting active. That's what we want to see, actually. And I think for Wildcard now, this is a side who, for the majority of the series, have looked completely forlorn in terms of their faces. They look very dejected and out of the series. Mentally, they've looked a little checked out. They need individuals like that to get active, to get loud, to really start to rally the troops a little bit, start to get a bit of confidence going. That's how Wildcard are going to win this. They need to get up in the faces of M80. They need to stop showing them respect and start getting loud and proud. That's what we want to see. It's what we see all the time in Studio Lands. I mean, hell, we saw it in Paris at the RMR as well when we were in Copenhagen last year. It was just everyone getting really vocal and just screaming and shouting when they're winning the games. And that was usually a strong indication that they're feeling it themselves. Yeah. When it goes silent, when there's nothing being said after rounds or just brief conversation and that sort of stuff, that's when you think, okay, maybe this isn't in their grasp as of yet. But Wildcard, with just 1 round away from leveling this game out, momentum in their favor, there's a chance that they can certainly come back into this one. I think a conversation to be had. It was 7 rounds in a row for M80 before this as well, by the way, so it's really nice to see Wildcard pick up those 2. Creeping up slightly to find 2 with the MAC-10 looking for more as well. There's a lot of cash in his pockets. Reck and Slacks will find consolation kills, but it's not really a problem. Slight as well, that MAC-10.
A lot of kill bonus means the AWP can come out in play. T-side AWPing on Vertigo is notoriously so difficult. I mean, arguably would even be, a lot of pros talk about Vertigo being the hardest map to AWP on. I don't really blame them. T-side especially, it's not easy to be given a lot of space to work with. Slight's going to give it a go. He said mechanically, Slight is up there in terms of his individual prowess. It's just at times positions which let him down.
Posting inside of mid as well. Could be a little bit of a read. Information in previous demos, knowing that M80 like to get Aggie inside of mid, evidently. Nobody found as of yet, but ground being gained here from Wildcard, but slow, steady, instead of what we usually see of just the, I'm going to rush mid, who's about to get straight out there and potentially get a frag. It's collected, Counter-Strike, reck. A little bit silent in this second half so far. With the rifle in tow, looking to do some damage. Stan and Slight pick up frags, but it's malbs to just get him out of dodge once again. Infinite on that B bomb site opens up an opportunity for the T's. But look at this little lurk from Sonic on A.
They're not even committing to this. The question is, how much do M80 commit to a rotate? They have overcalled it here. Yes, the bomb was spotted, but not committed by any means. A slight little double back, and now Sonic surely sees off a freebie here. The Slacks expect him. No, not elevated at the very least. Yet to tag, but it's not enough. Reactions can't bail him out of that one. Bomb goes down. malbs, yes, he's up close. What can he do? Tag on towards Slight is good, but not good enough. Redefined. Low. Ooh. Sonic will fall. Give it a go. He's done so much damage towards Slight. Why not?
I think if he finds Slight on that first swing, then absolutely this is almost easy for him to be able to push. Yeah, he can certainly go for this one. No util to speak of though. No Slight is completely lit up. No. Just going to stick it. Yeah, it's not going to work out in his favor. I mean, sometimes you just got to go for it. If he had a smoke, maybe he can go for a bit of an off angle on the defuse, but not to be the case. Wildcard. There we go, Slight. He is feeling it and getting the rest of the team invigorated, almost looking over to the rest of the team. He's like, guys, is that loud enough? Is that good? Can they hear me on this one?
We need more of this, though. We need to keep seeing this consistency out of Wildcard. Some of these rounds are getting very, very close. Some of them are getting maybe a little dicey at times, but all that matters is that Wildcard are seeing them over the line. M80 letting this slip. This shows to me that Wildcard has spent a lot of time anteing M80 on towards this map. 2 for 2 M80 in the last couple of times they've played. It's been a good pocket pick for them in this matchup specifically. Now it feels like they're losing touch with it. 9-8 as Wildcard close down the gap to push this towards our decider. The age-old anecdote for the longest time has been all good best of threes are decided on Inferno. It's wrong. That
I was about to say, do you still agree with that statement now?
This situation, it will be the truth if we do go there. We're talking, as if this one's done, there's still a world. M80 only one round behind, but they don't have a bye here. And Jaber making sure that they don't lose too much. Death or fall, they should see this off relatively comfortably.
Yeah, M80 have been able to convert some of these like force buy rounds around the SMGs and stuff, but not really had too much success purely on the upgraded pistols. They have called it correctly. Well, at least on paper right now. Plenty of time for that to change for Wildcard if they want to pump over towards the A-bomb site. This big stack from the CTs, ready and waiting for this approach. Smokes and flashes getting thrown down by Infinite. Nobody facing, so information not given up. Here you go. Smoke, flash. Here comes everyone. Slacks needs to be big here.
Very good stack. And it just comes up absolute trumps. They actually had a really decent crossfire into his backside, and everything falls apart immediately. The second the P250 misses a shot, it just crumbles at the seams. It's a round that they have to see off cleanly, right? It's a round that they cannot really allow for any more than one casualty. And that is the case. First had to crack in double digits now as well. Wildcard starting to creep ever closer towards that decider. 10 rounds locked in. M80 going to call for attack pause, and Def going to try and sort of desperately bring things back in their favor, but it's not been good for a while.
Was quite an interesting point, and while we talked about the fact that M80 have beaten Wildcard on this map a number of times in the past, and they've been pretty decent on it as well themselves for like at least the last 3 months, even without Def in the roster. Wildcard have won one map of Vertigo
Yeah.
in the last 3 months. And that was online against like a mixed team of XK Evil.
Yes.
So it's not a... It's not a strong performance historically for Wildcard, so being able to take M80 here and make that a 2 in 8 instead of 1 in 7 is would be pretty damn good. Taking your opponent's map picks, I mean, that's something we're used to seeing in UK CS. If we're seeing it in NA as well, we need to be watching some more of it. Slacks taking down Stanislaw, really clean one as you mentioned. And again, now we're just gonna have to slow down the round after losing someone early doors. Kind of changes the dynamic of the round completely.
Yeah, Infinite mollied and heard. So unfortunately, can't really do anything with this. It's like double back and join the group. Bomb. Not overly committed, which is the main thing. One casualty with Stan, now calling from the grave. Then doubling back towards A. Slowly creeping up towards ramp as malbs's going to play around that smoke.
This is who you want here. You want malbs locking down a site. I mean, historically, you would say, yeah, reck. I mean, just hold on to the bomb site. But it's not been as clean as we are used to seeing from him this half. So malbs picking up a little bit of the pace. Swisher, wow, Infinite got so much ground there to be able to find that kill. malbs on the back line. He's going to be able to take down one. Looks for the second. Not good for it this time round. Def. Going to have to get them out of this rocky situation. Smoke goes down to be able to isolate these fights. The backup here as well from Heaven. And he goes on Def. He's yet to reveal himself. Oh, the stab with the smoke is a lot of damage. If there's some util they can use, this could turn brutal for Wildcard.
They've used that smoking towards short rather than playing it on the bomb here. So that might make life a little tough here for M80. Post spawn's pretty good for Wildcard. Molly on the corner, time ticking, question marks now for what they've got. They might just stick this, and it might just work. No! Through the smoke, Slight one, and Slight doubles it down. A hero needed, as Wildcard will find it. And look what it means to Wildcard. Staying alive, staying in this game, and looking to push us to a third.
Oh my God, Slight. 0.2, I'm going to call it now. About 0.2 seconds on that kill. The spam was so good on the AK, I thought it was going to connect. But no, the dodge was there. The off angle being held, and look at Slight. Boom! Taking him down. And the shot onto Slacks is gorgeous as well. He loses his damn mind. Look at the smile creeping on their faces when they see how, like, just invigorated Slight's getting. An 11th round for Wildcard, firmly in the driver's seat now with M80's Econ in tatters. Deagles across the board. Swisher on the 5-7. Def needs to go massive here, and he's not going to be able to find anything. Sonic picking up the heads of both Def and malbs, shutting down that A-hold.
Looks like M80 are playing for OT. Wildcard at 12th round the corner. Slacks playing up close and personal towards the site. Deagle in hand, the hand cannon, hoping for a couple of headies and giving one as he finds Stan, but traded back immediately. Jaber, Shadow, spotted. Information gained and a couple of frags to close it too. Beautiful work. As Wildcard find that 12th, the all-important one. One more round, and we go towards an Inferno. And off the back of map number 1, Cody, it goes without saying that was not in our expectations.
Brother, off the back of map number 1, off the end of the first half as well, I thought this was done and dusted. M80 had so much of just a momentous lead. Of course, on paper it wasn't the case because of the scoreline being pretty damn close. M80 only eking out with a couple of rounds, but that was 7 rounds in a row. And then leading on that CT side as well. Wildcard had to dig deep, really look towards Stan and just say, how do we get out of this one? The experience coming out and ensuring that actually we're still firmly in this one. I love this little boost here from Swisher. It might only be good for one if they can. Oh, that's even better. If they can find him, it's going to be incredibly hard for M80 to be able to do anything here.
Def's known, right? This is the thing. They know he's got to be played up close, and Slight full blind. He's a miracle man right now. Slight is not missing a beat. And Wildcard inching closer to that third. M80, this is slipping between their fingers. They know they had this one. It felt like for the tail, 6 rounds in a row at the tail end of the half. On the lock and key, 7-5 at halftime, and since then, 1 round. Lackluster CT side. We highlighted Reck, for example, 16 kills he had and 6 deaths. Now finds up 18 and 4. And it shows the parallels between these two sides as Wildcard inch closer. Stanislaw will fluff his lines. We call upon his name, speak of the devil, and reck shall arise. But Infinite now gets space towards B. No one's home.
Yeah, there's nobody here at all. This could quite easily be a change of pace if they want to just hightail it towards that B bomb site. But instead, Bomb and Sonic going to be pushing out onto A. Going to get dinked down. Yeah, with 20 seconds, they need to make a choice, and the choice has been made. B-bomb site is going to be ours. They are just now sprinting on over. There's no one there ready and waiting for them. It's been controlled by the T's for a strong majority of this round. With Rex inside of mid. Mal's getting completely bodied by Infinite. It's going to come down to the silent reck to be able to get them out of this.
They have one smoke. That's all they have in terms of retake utility. Man alive. And retake of an AWP alone is a big ask. Reck hoping for an overface, hoping for an overfight, not being given it, and he goes around the corner. Jaber aware and akin to what he was going for. One man has to do it all. Slacks in a 1v3 to keep M80 alive, and no chance. It's Slight who sees him off, and what a tail end. Look what it means to Wildcard. They stay alive in the series, and they push us towards Inferno.
Yeah, getting loud when the headsets are off, that's important for Slight. I mean, I think he was trying to get through the noise cancelling during the...